plenty of content of me. And quite frankly, I think you might be robbing me, TikTok. I think there might be something robbery like going on here. Because, like, frankly, let's be honest, it might be the case. You know? That's nice. Just doing this out of morbid curiosity to see if I get any more than one person watching once again. Done gone. One person. Because it always, literally all my live streams never have literally more than one person in the room, which is a bit fucking, I mean, that's pretty shit even for anybody in it. Isn't that a little bit shit for anybody? Anybody got one experience with one person in the room? Oh, two. I've got two. Yeah, I was just listening. There's a guy called King, and he does the money tree mantra that's all over Facebook now. Ching, ching, ching goes the money tree, and every time it ching, money comes to me. Left, right, up and upon me. And someone's robbed his mantra, the poor fuck, and they've printed it on t-shirts and mugs and shit. I was like, well, it's a kind of like a prayer, isn't it, bro? It's like, thou already load me down to sheep, you know, you can't really, he said, oh, he's not going to sue anyone, because that would be a waste of time. But money tree, ching, ching, ching goes the money tree, and every time he ching, honey, come to me. I say it's more like a thing that everybody's going to use, isn't it? Where you want them to use it on TikTok, but you don't want them to profit from it. So you don't profit. So if you give your creative away, people run away with it and profit because it's not copyrighted or whatever. Do you know? And I put a thing up there, but I put it up there because I feel like the stuff that I write isn't really, well, I don't know, it's a rap, but it's like, you know, it's an LGBT kind of rap, and it's for the people kind of rap, and it's like, it belongs, like, I put it out there because it belongs to everybody, because it's sort of like being Boris Johnson and preaching, or being something and preaching, because it's like I write every day. Like every day I write. I was like, I write something every day before I go to bed. It's like, it's just a flow of consciousness. Like queer we are. It's clear we are here. We know we are not that queer, but we embrace it though. It's mostly refinement in the face of shit you hear, you don't know. And those fear demographics, uniform drones. I wouldn't sit in company proud to say friends don't have many. Well, not face to face, but the world's getting more one taste. Human race is in it together. Just fucking buster. Definitions, demographics of emotionally intelligent, empathetic, ever clearer, the less clever, and the you know what I mean? So that it's like what I'm saying is more like it's just more like a social commentary of what's going on in the world for people. The four mentalities of fear, control, and strict gov guidelines, not in hordes and hordes of designs, and the tribes are getting formed, links to strange upbringing are being severed out of the norms. So the wars and the battles survived, that all the ex-service men will tell you relay the disservice to them. The shell shock will rock you back into clarity sense as well as any recreational drug, and all their fights gov shit is for mugs, and most people want camaraderie, peace, faith in others, one love and hugs, and me a desire to rest my head on a fat pair of jugs. New definitions, blah blah blah, I was alright with plain old queer. What's wrong with that? Plain old queer. You hear all this non-binary and more refineries just going in one big chromatic circle, getting your box. What a load of bollocks, you know. So yeah, freestyling, once you do that all day, you don't really care. And this bloke's really talented. He's like king soon, so it's like, don't sweat the small stuff, mate. They might be printing your money mantra on mugs and promoting you on t-shirts without your permission and making loads of money off you, Mr. Money Mantra Man. But that's what you expect. You expect that. You should have been giving that away. My buttons are falling off my hench coat. hench coat. Go check my Christmas card, which I spent about an hour making last night for my TikTok following. I haven't got a following. Got one person watching. And in the words of Justin Bieber, go and love yourself. Do I have to tap my own fucking screen? Paula Spinstall. Yeah, so query yo. It's clear we are here. Query yo. It's clear we are here, but we're not that queer, but we embrace it though. It's mostly refinement in the face of shit you hear, and all that societal violence and fear. Those fear demographics, uniform drones. I wouldn't sit in a company. I'm proud to say, friends, I don't have many. I'm Rowan. I roam. And they're just square drone. Well, not face to face, I don't have friends, but the world's getting more one taste. The human race is in it together. Definitions, demographics of emotionally intelligent, empathetic, ever clearer, the less clever. Ever clearer, the less clever. The form mentalities of fear, the control strict gov lines, not in hordes and hordes of designs you hear. Tribes form, links to strange upbringing severed. Query-yo. You would say it was query-yo, but when you live in a place like London, you just see it and hear it. I don't know. They're all shysters, monetary shysters, after your skin to puncture. Hoping that you're counting on the fact that you're all dunces, yeah? There's a person on there put it perfectly the other day as well, that whole COVID thing. He says there's no such thing as fucking COVID. It's Corona, SARS. There's this. It's on first it was Corona, which is on toilet duct and bleach bottles as a household drug, like shit that can pick up any time it likes, even if you haven't got any symptoms. Oh, that's why. And then it's like, I said day one, bollocks, and I don't understand. I still don't understand why people are still listening to the mainstream media if it's carrying on like that. And if you don't know my storyline, I've been arrested last year, this year, and it was supposedly sending letters to somebody that didn't want them during COVID and a birthday card. But I think it's more the fact that I just say bollocks loudly on social media. But a lot more people are saying it now. And most people hide behind a mask and they call themselves anonymous, but I call myself Laura Rickler, Larsley Dance here, and I don't give a shit. I think I was on a suicide mission at one point. Form mentalities of fear, control, sick gov guidelines, not in the hordes and hordes of designs. Tribes form, links to strange upbringing severed. Shitstorm to industrial. Wars, battles survive, all the ex-service will relay the disservice. Glad to be alive, the shell shock will rock you back into clarity sense as well as any recreational drug. What need for military defence if there is no threat? Safe bet, all their fights gov shit is for mugs. Most people want camaraderie, peace, faith in others, one love and hugs. Me a desire to rest my heavy head on a pair of jugs. New definitions, blah blah blah. I was always okay with query yo. My elders created that freedom. Big enough bracket. Why are these non-binary cis women, cis this and all that making a racket? My brain cells, my intelligence, sexuality. I want to be able to track it. Why are you making a new racket with those new definitions? More likes can attract viewers. Keep it up. Okay. I think I might leave it there. But if you like that, if you taste that, I could do that all day long. I haven't been produced yet, and I haven't been produced. It's criminal. What's the biggest crime in the 21st century, or year 21? The fact Laura hasn't been picked up by a producer. Because if you like my rapping, and you like where I'm coming from, shit, you would like my singing more. And I've done a lot of walking around this dirty old town, London, that is London. And I've met lots of rappers and MCs and different people. The female of the species one. Might just do a little plug there, because I was going to sell this. It's a very good read. I was going to sell it. Is it signed? I think it's signed. Is it signed? Yes, it's signed. It's a good read. Anyone want to buy it, you can go and buy stuff. There's a website like TikTok, but it's not better, but it has a shop. and you can sell stuff just like it's on eBay, but there's no fees, and it just sits there, and it's not going to run and have to get relisted, because I've put like 3 items on that. I keep fucking relisting, and nobody buys on PayPal, on eBay. Nobody buys your shit. They buy it and then they don't buy it, and they just don't pay for it. So on Clapper, which is like TikTok, you can do videos the same as this, but they're a bit tighter, and people seem to know each other a little bit better and form a bit more alliances, and they got a shop on there. They got a shop on there that you can put your old items on. Like, how much would you give me for a signed copy of this? A story about a girl from London growing up with Irish blood. Blood. So yeah, go check out Clapper. And someone just told me, why don't you sign up for another one called, can't remember, couldn't find a link for it either. And this coat is for sale. This one-off, Lars D. Dancier, rare. Get it before she gets herself all the way up there. Buy it now. Get your coat for 100. We got 100 in the room. We got 100 in the room. We got 120 in the room. We got 150 in the room. 200 in the room for this one-off Lars D. Dancier design. One-off Lars D. Dancier design, soon to be as rich as any Banksy portrait. Get in there, open to offers. This one-off Lars D. Dancier fashion design for sale. One of a kind. No two on the planet. No two on the planet. Lars D. Dancier one-off coats. Soon to be as important as the first Banksy ever painted. You can buy it. You can get in on this. You can buy this. You can make offers here. Lars D. Dancier, one off, one special, one off piece of fashion design. This is like, you're looking at somebody that is like a lyrical version of Banksy, or maybe I am the real Banksy. I wouldn't tell you if I was. This is for sale. One off. I'll show you some more design. Pretty. Rocking. Yes. Yes. Incorporated cap. 250 in the room. Is that 250 in the room? 300 in the room. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you caught my poem, my piece of social reform writing. Rainbows and lollipops, mates. Better not give away too much of it here, given that my numbers are always at like 1 or 2, and given the fact that the money mantra man has just said all his shit has just been robbed and put on t-shirts and cups without his permission. I'm not gonna give too much away, but queerio, it's clear we are here. We are not that queer, but we embrace it though. It's mostly the refinement in the face of the shit you hear. You done know, going with the flow. They'd like us down on your knees here, but we are way up there. Fear demographics, uniform drones. I wouldn't sit in a company of them. Proud to say friends don't have many. Well, not face to face, but the world's getting more one taste and the human race is in it together. Definitions, demographics of emotionally intelligent, empathetic, ever clearer, the less clever. The form mentalities of fear, control, strict gov lines, not in hordes and hordes of designs. The tribes formed, links to strange upbringings severed. Animal farm. It has a lot of faces looking begrudged, downtrodden and weathered. Wars, battles survived, all ex-service will always relay the disservice. The shell shock will rock you back into clarity sense as well as any recreational drug. All their fights, gov shit is for mugs, and most people that camaraderie, peace, faith in others, one love and hugs. Me a desire to rest my head on jugs. Yeah, new definitions, blah, blah, blah. I'm okay with queer though, innit, star? Lars D. Dancier, rare, raw, rare sun. Authorities have the head done in, had them in a state of panic. They got a bit melodramatic. I said, what use of military defence if there is no threat? And I will not ever live to regret this life. 'Cause I got more than a will to survive. I got a will to thrive in the light of love. I got a new idea that fit the whole planet like a glove. And as for not having many people on a live, more than a will to survive. I live in a city where I'm supposed to thrive. I should have thrived already in a place like Londinium, but the problem with it, it's filled with sin, in it, son? Sort of place that make you feel like you wish you hadn't come. Oh, this city's gonna break my heart. Tell me about it, love, don't get me started. God love my dearly departed. The slaves to the NHS. Slaves to the NHS when they can't deal with a cancer mess, the people they give up on. Oh my dear days. That's one that would like to say a case that I took on and won in the face of all the alternative new medicine. It's like the NHS is actually half living sin. And I don't care if I slate it. I never went out and contributed to the robotic clapping din, because tax money taken thief don't mean a fucking thing. All you got is the NHS, Boris. And am I right wing, left wing? What the fuck, I don't really sit for those terms. You live, you learn. What is a politician? Just a person that asks you, what poll makes you tick? But then they're just begging you to be less diverse. In all effect, one of the thick. Get in your box, get in your box. Lars the dancer, she's not only got the keys to the money, I've got the locks. And that's why they're in a state of shock and keep arresting me, because I'm swinging so far out of my tree. I'm swinging off the chandelier. Forget that, that's got a ceiling. I ain't got one, you hear. I'm swinging off the fucking clouds. More than girls allowed. I'm lifting the shroud on the whole of it. Because I think that basically it had everybody losing their wits. They're less than fit. Can't get a grip of my tongue once I start flipping it. I'm probably gonna know, don't say the obvious. No. Although you did, like I say, you had a suicide mission when you started turning all those tides with a new one's permission. When you started frazzling their sensibilities and they all started to feel a little bit ill at ease. Have you really done something to them that they start turning around and just slate you and tell you you're just a dick tease, a brick tease, or whatever? Who the fuck's listening and who the fuck cares? Who are ya? Pay your taxes. Why don't you go pay your taxes? One of the last chromatic circles to break, isn't it? That snidey fake, isn't it? Get in your coat, it's made up of alpha. Get in your coat, it's made up of alpha. Alpha. The alphanumeric people. The people that made the alphabet and decided to guide the sheep, you all. But the problem is the artist got too pissed. The problem is the artist got too pissed. The problem is that Christ was our Jesus. We're into crystals, we're into healing, we're all into this stuff, and I'm not sure that the robotic sensibilities of wage is the right way to be dealing. On the crux, Aquarius, coming down to unlock, put you in a state of semi-shock. But it's about time that the film world and the music industry and everybody else in between started to pump into a brand. But intelligent women, the likes of Richard Branson and all the rich people, seem to not be able to understand. Hey, King soon started following me. Yeah. King soon just started following me. Yeah. Wave, you're a money wave. Come on, mate. Your mantra, take it back. Get someone to print your mug. Can't you employ one of these people on here to put your mug on it, next to it, so there's no mistaking the brand from the man, because everybody that's used TikTok has come across your mantra and implemented it, from what I can tell. Every time I'm shifting through it, I'm saying, look, there's the money mantra, man. Everybody's using this soundbite, so everybody's been using it, haven't they? All been using it. Trying to manifest money, but there's one little mug that go out and say, let's put it on a mug. And they put it on a mug, and they put it on a t-shirt, and they didn't ask his permission. So take back your money mantra, put your mug on the money mantra, because no one can rub your face, printing your face on things. I think there's a law against that, bigger law against that than probably putting stuff on a TikTok platform, just your words. Face of it all. Ghost Sam. What's the obsession with people being ghosts around on social media as well? Because I had the pleasure of being ghosted by what I think was a industry plant, because I might not be famous, but I do have 10 years doing background, supporting artists work in the background of films, just standing on the back of sets and walking past in the background. And it's quite a shit environment. It's like, you learn a lot, yeah, sure, but you also get treated like a mug, and it's not that nice. They don't really take into account your personal life or anything. If you lost like loved ones and shit, they'd be like, way, you know, scream at you in the middle of everyone. Yeah, it's a bit shit. You're sort of like expected to be a pet in that. In the industry of film, I just fell across somebody that has a day on set in Hollywood. What's your day comprise of? Go in there and get sticked up the fucking nose and in the throat every morning. Oh, you know, put it on that. It's an industrial show. And I think on my journey, what I've really understood about all of it, really, mostly is when Ronald Reagan and people like that come along and they said, film industry this, or this, it's like, it's all cocaine as well. It's like this big cocaine wrap around the industry. And all that sort of like, even down to David Cameron and some of the politicians, they're like coke. And there's a lot of coke and underbelly corruption, and it just is. Nobody actually really gives a fuck, really. 100% transparency, just be honest about it, right? There's drugs everywhere. They do drugs. The film world does drugs. Drug. But they all like to sit downside respectability, medical, industrial, and they all put on that facade. But that's like, for me, for some reason, I don't know if it's because I went to festivals and done magic mushrooms, but I come back from it, so I don't want to be anything other than my authentic self, and my authentic self says bollocks. I don't want to have fucking shit stuffed up my nose. And even if I did have COVID, so what? You know, you get COVID, you just spread it around like a normal fucking flu, because it is a normal fucking flu. Get over it and stop this nonsense, because it's just a violation of you. And I think people are getting more deeply sad and perverted because of the media, because they're not socialising enough, and then they see that as like, oh, let's have a little stick up your nose. Like, it's like, no, I'm not having it, I don't want it. And I don't even give a fuck anymore, to be honest with you. Like, literally, I used to want, I think, like, yeah, give me a part, do it. Well, I do, obviously I'd like success, but I'm not working for like £120 a day or £90 a day to be subjected to that, because it's just precarious ground. At the end of the day, it's not worth it. If you think you've got artist capabilities, then it's just like, rally round, promote it, do something about it. At the end of the day, I'm a massive player, fucking massive player if they put their minds to it, but you've been leaving me flagging around out here for years, so get to the point where I've just stopped paying my rent. Stop doing that. Probably end up in a gutter, but you have to go the route of that. Who's Lewis Capaldi? Who is it? What is it? Yeah, I think that's enough for today. Queerio, it's clear we're here and we're not that queer, but it's embrace it though. Both the refinement in the face of the shit you hear, the violence, the societal violence. We always suffer in silence. I think people were in like some sort of groomed subordination in the 80s. 70s, 80s babies come from 50s babies, and those 50s babies come from war babies. War babies be fucked. Parentals be fucked a little piece, but they sort of like, they fall into line and they're all about work ethics and just being the best person they can be conservatives or Labour, and they'll be like, yeah, we've got opinions on everything, but we don't actually do anything about it. And they frown upon hippies, and hippies frown upon them, and like within all these demographics, you got all the divide and conquer. And when it comes down to snidey little storylines, it's just to keep in place that conservative stronghold. And it's almost like a mental war, like just over a fucking needle. But then when it comes down to it, Muslims, Islamists, they don't get questioned as much as a white person, because monumentally what the British public is made up of is lower class, working class slaves. big slavery, so impoverished and enslaved with their alcohol and everything, that they didn't even see their own impoverishedness and actually walk around in a state of like, yeah, proud of what exactly? Because from what I can tell, I see exactly what way it was going. And they think all the liberty and the gayness is a means to debauchery. And some of them were saying how the Vikings come and they used to reindeer piss with hallucinogenics, like there's a toxic hallucinogen. They used to get the reindeers to eat it and then collect the reindeer piss. And then the reindeer piss be given to people. And it was all about a certain level of stuff that exists in our DNA, and we're working through the past karmatic cycles of the depravity. The depravity. And yes, it's quite safe to say, if you're working through karmatic cycles of your ancestry in the form of Vikings raping and pillaging the UK, it's kind of safe to say that that's probably as debauched and depraved and shit as it can get, I suppose. Let's be honest. And then you're like, oh, well, let's all focus on Black Lives Matter right now, and let's focus on Black Lives Matter because that's what we can put up there, because they view themselves as slaves. They view themselves as like the hurt party, even though they actually should just be hating on Africa themselves as black people. Be like, why did you save her? Why did they sell their ancestry? Why haven't you fixed the water problems? Why didn't you sell your gold and diamonds and all the wood under the sun in the Victorian times for a decent price and get on with your own shit? But you know, ask us, the lower working class, ask us for help, because we're impoverished slaves and we're already enslaved, but we just don't realise it. Pretty bad. So yeah, I can see the way that it was going with the whole thing. The more rights people think they're getting, the more LGBT rights you think you're getting, we can just get away and shit. And anyway, industrial plants. Met one at a festival, and yes, spent 60 hours in a cell, coming back from Venice last year, 12, and on holiday in Bournemouth, 48 hours, got arrested there, 24 hours in the cell there, and then in Bethnal Green. What the fuck, really? For what? Hour 36, I was let in on why I was spending that much money. Do you know anything about a birthday card? I said, do you know anything about using warnings or escalation procedures, you wankers? Yeah, you should check out my page. I think that's the funniest thing I see yesterday. Was Peppa Pig Land. Have you been to Peppa Pig Land? It's like, and this is what I'm going back to within industrial contexts, it's like lifting the vow, like cocaine, corruption, entities around, coke demons around music venues, like, you know, simulate your existence, like feeling like it's being simulated or being persecuted, and then telling you it's about that when it's not about that. It's about little vengeances and weird vendettas and strange shit and stuff of over dramatic fucking, what's his name, Big Puff Diddy and the other guy and stuff like that. That's what they're trying to turn the UK into at times. It's like the drama, ridiculous and shit and bollocks. I'm not playing Tupac. Not playing Tupac just for having a fucking voice or a lyrical ability, or thinking that I'm a part of a people's movement outside of like governmental shit. It's like people try to formulate these dots around you. It's like not open to the manipulation, not open to this, not open to that. But I find myself in a shitstorm of industrial bollocks. And it's like 150 emails out to people just saying, why have I been arrested and why is that allowed? Why is my human rights gone? Oh, probably because you're just getting universal credit and there's some sort of loophole in these days and age. Like, who are you? It's like, you know, it's the end of actual human rights. And people keep talking about the COVID shit. And someone said it is control over vaccine identity. Control over vaccine identity AI. The 1 standing for the A and the 9 standing for the I. And for me, like, I think that makes sense. Like, AI technology kind of in control of a lot of people's data and shit. You go to enough industrial events around industry and they tell you the importance of password sharing, hacking, bullshit, corona being a household germ. Then flamboyantly just derive, excuse. I don't know what the fuck Boris is on, but nobody in the public eye talks like a human being. It's like, you're just shrinking it for everyone, and nobody's happy about it. So what you can do about it? Anonymous, all big fat chats on the 5th of November, were they? Oh, yeah, can't wait to see the action. What happened? I didn't see anything. Don't do fuck all. But basically, it should just be the end of taxes, shouldn't it? End of taxes. End of taxing people. More liberty, more freedom. Way forward, no dramas. Adios, people.